Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Simuleo. So today is going to be a wonderful, fantastic day, I think. I don't know, I screwed that up. But anyway, I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day. I know that a few people are already in, so thanks for coming in. TT Designator, Rox Tonro, Fled, and JSBP, you guys are awesome. Use a hoe for your logo. As far as the visualization library is concerned, today we are going to be working on, stuff. You know, like the same stuff we were working on yesterday, basically getting the CaiVL library up and running, making it so it's usable for pretty much everyone. And then from there, we'll start doing some more visualizations with it. That's a cow? What? Wait, no, how does no one recognize it as a cow? Wait, 1 second, let me just open up the CD videos, storage, videos, LS, let's see, where is it? CD Simuleos probably, LS, Mirage, card, .png. I mean, I don't know. It looks like a cow. It's a spherical cow. That's what it is. You know. In case you're wondering, the reason it's called a spherical cow. Oh yeah, Gathros. Let me pull up the side chat real quick. I apologize for that. You thought it was just a mark? Well, I mean, come on. Like it's. Okay, so the reason it's a spherical cow is because there is a very popular physics, I guess, term, or physics approximation, where everything is approximated as a sphere in a vacuum. And so the idea is that basically everything is a spherical cow in a vacuum in order to make things easier to understand. So that's why I chose the spherical cow, because the spherical cow is easy in a way to approximate. So I figured, hey, let's make the channel easy to approximate, and that is the idea of the channel. Okay, chat is now up on the side. You think the music's too loud? The music should be the same as it always is, but I can drop it down just a little bit. So I think the reason I was quiet was because I was over on the side putting the... I wasn't directly in front of my microphone. Also, I'm not hearing any music. Oh, there we go. Let me think. Okay, well, I can't do anything about the volume of this guy. Let me think. What can I do to increase the volume? Why would it be quieter than normal? That doesn't make any sense. I haven't done anything. Can I increase this? Nope. I don't think I can do anything to increase the volume here. That's about as loud as I can get my voice. Why would it be different? Connect. Those are connected. Did I connect the right one? 1 second, let me try one thing. BRB. I mean, you'll still hear me probably, but I just want to check something. Is this better? I think this is better. I think I just put the wrong preset on. Okay, I think this should be better. Close that. Put that back there. Now we should be good. Okay, so what happened was I've got a couple presets that I use, and I ended up accidentally... okay, well, first of all, I ended up using the wrong preset at the start. Then I put the right preset on. Then after putting the right preset on, I accidentally turned it off. So that's what happened. Let me think. What do I have? Okay, so that should be okay. Now, what do I want to do? I want to go ahead and close this. Anyway, as I was saying, I hope you guys were having a wonderful day with a, wonderful whatever you guys do during the day, whether it's programming or anything like that. That's still fine. Now, what do I want to do? I want to go ahead and get started on the CaiVL visualization library. So CD projects, CaiVL. CD projects, CaiVL. Okay, so as I said before, there are a lot of different things that we need to get done for this visualization library. He streams in parallel. Okay, I need to find a better way to, I guess you could say, I need to find a better way to go into OBS without actually showing OBS, because every time I show OBS, it's going to do that infinite Infinite James thing. So, sorry about that. Sorry for the spam, Roxtonra. Wait, what are you spamming for? Gathros. Gathros is, again, on the side chat. He's, not available on Twitch, so he will be in Discord. And again, I encourage you guys to go to Discord if you haven't already. I'm not going to call it CaiVL. That's not what it's called. So if you haven't been to Discord before, feel free to go there and hang out. In general, there's conversation at most times of the day, and that's pretty cool. So in terms of in terms of things that we have to do today, it doesn't really matter. Second monitor, but it doesn't really matter. So the thing is, I usually like to have the chat up on the side, because I like you guys to see the chat that I'm talking to you guys with. It's kind of one of those things that I like as someone watching a stream, and I figure you guys probably like as someone watching a stream too. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, it's been that way since the start, you know. 1 second. Good. Okay. So let me also do one more thing with this chat on the side here, and there we go. That should be okay. Sorry, I've got some stuff I had to set up over there. Okay, so now what am I going to do? I'm going to open up Zernal, and then I'm going to close Zernal, and then I'm going to open up Zernal again, because for some reason, I still haven't fixed that bug. I mean, I don't really know how to fix that bug. It's just a bug that happens. So there we go. And let's go here. He bought for OBS Discord and stuff. Just saying it would be useful having chat there is great. Wait, what do you mean? But for OBS Discord and stuff. I could never live with just one monitor. Yeah, I don't like having multiple monitors. It's one of those things. I could have 2 monitors, don't get me wrong. And in fact, if the stream ever becomes like super duper big, I'm going to have 2 monitors. Because otherwise, one chat will just be too busy. So it's probably good practice to have a second one here. Okay, so CaiVL, or CaiVL, as you guys like to call it. There's a bunch of things that we need to get done today. I was planning to, last night, go through the list of things that we need to get done and kind of write down some quick Sudoku code as to how to do it all. But I didn't quite do that because when I got home at like 6 or something, 6:30 or something, I was just tired. I don't know what the deal was. I was exhausted. And so I started chatting for a bit with you guys. I wrote down some basic things, started reading up about the fractal flame algorithm, and then I was just exhausted. I had to go to bed. And then I went to bed and I woke up 8 hours later and here we are. Yep, that's basically how my life is. So I should probably not have gotten that much sleep. I normally only get 6 hours of sleep, but for some reason I just needed it last night. I don't know what the deal was. Every once in a while I just need a lot of sleep. TT Designator looks at... Wait, what? I'm somewhat confused with all of these emotes running in. But anyway, guys, this is what we're going to do today. So, first of all, there's a couple of big problems. The first problem I want to address is the fact that the way we currently draw frames. So, let's look at the draw frames command. Okay, this is done in a very, very stupid way. Basically, the idea is I have a vector of frames, and in this vector of frames, the idea is that I render all of the vector of frames at the same time. So if I have 3 frames, I hold all 3 frames in the vector, and then I render the entire vector at some point. TT Designator, dude, if you wake up before 5 a.m. and are able to stay up until 6 p.m., I feel like that's still not a lot of... If you wake up at 5, and you get 8 hours of sleep, we'll say, then you go to bed at 9, right? So, I mean, that would be a full day. And for me, that's basically what I do. I get up at around 4-ish usually. To be fair, for the past few days, I haven't really gotten out of bed until 4:30, so I've been kind of sleeping in, and I need to stop that because I don't have time to do stream and YouTube and the algorithm archive and work and all that other stuff if I don't, cut a few hours of sleep here and there. So, which is one of the reasons why I'm now kind of looking into doing, the YouTube and the algorithm archive thing. It's kind of becoming more alluring to do that full time because that way I don't have to drop my community, and at the same time I can keep doing, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have enough time to do both work and the algorithm archive at the same time. Like, I'm gonna have to drop one at some point. And right now I've been dropping the algorithm archive again and again and again, but I'd really, really like to drop work, And with, 10,000 YouTube subscribers, we're getting there. So we'll see how it goes. I've got a couple big collaborations potentially coming up. Some smaller ones, but some bigger ones. So the smaller ones are all with channels that are roughly my size, I would say. And the bigger ones are with channels that are like somewhere like 800,000 subscribers or something like that. So those are quite big. So I'm pretty excited about that because I think all put together, we should be able to get to, I'm hoping, obviously, the goal, the best goal in the world, if we could ever get there, would be 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year. But that'd be really hard to do, and I don't know if this community can sustain that right now. So we have to get kind of a little bit further before we can go that far. But if we could do that, then I might consider doing it full-time after my PhD is done. That's kind of the whole thing there. I don't know if you guys ever thought about it, but I've given it so much thought, it's kind of, at this point, not even worth thinking about anymore. I've kind of said, Lent, I don't know if you guys do this anymore, but when I was younger and I was a Christian, I guess in principle, I don't really know my affiliation anymore, but when I was very strongly Christian, there was this thing called Lent, right? The idea is that 40 days before Easter, you go through and you give up something. Lays bunting over the tour bus? Wait, what? Anyway, so you give up something. And the thing that I decided to kind of give up this year is obsessing over my YouTube statistics, because that's something I've been doing too much recently. Shouldn't get so bothered by people using which instead of that for defining clauses. I'm sorry if I did that. My excuse always is that it's 5 in the morning. However, at some point that excuse is no longer valid, and I apologize for that. Let me think. Or should I say apologize for which? I don't know. Anyway, the point is, oh shoot, what is the point? Oh yeah, I need to quit worrying about that. Don't you believe in our Lord and Savior Ho? You mean the Holy One? Yeah, of course. He's the Hovial one? I'm not sure. Okay, so draw frames. Currently, this guy draws all the frames at once, which is a huge memory problem. So we'll write memory. Yep, that's how you spell memory. So, Simulus, what? I'm sorry, that? No, shoot, I got that screwed up. Not you, I'm just saying. Okay, Lent is great, 40 days without pants. You give up pants for Lent? How did you know? OVL 1. It uses 0.8 gigabytes. It depends on what you're rendering, right? So this one renders a heck of a lot. So for example, when I was doing the, here, I'll just show you. Let's go ahead and pop this over to that desktop, pop this over to that desktop. Let's go ahead and cd backup directory. Oh, that was not what I meant to do. One of these days. There we go, cd. Come on, dog. Cd backup directory, cd into Simuleos. And yeah, I think I can just run top over here. And then if I go into cd, what am I looking for? Not parametric. No, I'm looking for geometrical. Optics, ls. And if we run, I guess /g geometrical, I think this will do it. And you look at the memory footprint. Oh, there we are, 42. It should be getting higher. Wait. Okay, so it's not that high. But I remember it got to the point that I actually ran out of RAM at some point. And I have 32 gigabytes of RAM, so that's really not okay. That's something that needs to be fixed. I would really see what the Arcane Algorithm Archive and pull requests and stuff look like with 100k subs, and I really appreciate that. Why not give up all clothes? I have some stylish shirts. Yeah, I couldn't give up wearing clothes. At some point, you just have to say, I'm done with that. Okay, so let me think. What else was I going to say? Yeah, as far as the Arcane Algorithm Archive and pull requests and Discord and all that kind of stuff with 100,000 subs, it would be complete chaos the way it's currently set. So that's what I was saying before. In order to expand, we have to kind of allow for that expansion, which we don't currently have, If we have 10 times as many people submitting to the Algorithm Archive, it will be a full-time job, and there's nothing I can do about that. And the question is, do I get paid for the full-time job or not? So let me do a quick ls, and I think if we look into cd frames, ls, and let's do Mirage image 0000.png. So this is one of the previous visualizations we did. Oh, I see. Yeah, back in the day. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's what we have. Basically saying that depending on the visualization, it takes more or less RAM. Let's CD here. Go here, Control C, CD, clear, CD projects, CaiVL, and let's do the same thing over here. So I'm just going to grab this, copy it over there, and we're going to go ahead and Control L, clear it there. Okay. The Gathro says, Laos, why not make all the layers and surfaces save to PNG without storing it in RAM? That's exactly what I meant. I'd like to go ahead and do that, and that's the first thing I want to attack today, because currently the way I have it set is that it saves it all in RAM. So that's what I was going to fix. That's one of the big problems. But it's not scaling currently, so we have time to do that when we need to. Applying structures and stuff with no valid reason isn't a good thing. Fled from nowhere, which, in my mind, is only for non-defining clauses. Even though I know it's also correct to use for defining clauses, we already have that. Why which too? I don't know, man. I can't help you with that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and do a quick ls. Now, what I guess I want is for every frame to have a draw command. And then we can kind of go from there. So let's go ahead and vi source, and we should have frame functions, okay? So we have this thing, I see the frame data structure should be in init, or include. So let's go into vi include, and let's do frame functions.h. So we have struct frame. In frame we have frame init, we have destroy all, and that should be okay. So we have this kind of set. Yeah, good. And so what we need to do is kind of make it so that the constructor of the frame has the init function in it. Now forgive me guys, I'm really bad with any of this type of stuff. If I'm going to be totally and completely honest, I always fail miserably at creating constructors in C++. I just do. I can't help it, I do. The other thing I need to figure out is how to do this so that we can define number of frames up here, but have this defined within a, how do I put this? A per simulation basis, you know? Because currently the way I had it set is I have to go into this include file every time to change that number of frames, and that's a huge pain in the butt. And the reason, again, we have to do this, I know I've made this clear a couple times, but the reason we have to do this is because of the way that I have this written here. So we have struct frame, which has Cairo surface T, frame surface here. Sorry, my nose is super stuffy. Cairo T, frame context, Cairo surface T, all this kind of stuff here. And this guy requires a number of frames, and this guy requires a number of frames. And the frame context is going to be, how do I put this? So these are going to be those large kind of, I guess you could say, components in memory that I kind of want to get rid of. So I think what I want to do is change this function from draw frames, plural, to draw frame singular, and make it so that every frame just has a single frame surface, and we only render frames when we need the frames. And I think that's how we have to go about here. So in case you guys aren't aware, Cairo has a few different ways in which it works. So it has the background layer, which is called a surface. Then it has a context, which is called, here, let me draw this out for you guys. New page before. So it has three basic components. It has the background, which is called the surface. Then it has some sort of, like, I guess, object here. And then it has some sort of color. So we'll say the color here is blue. So then when you put the color with the context onto the surface, you get a blue circle. If that makes sense. So you have the color mixed with the context here. So this is kind of like the spray painting on the context in order to create something on the surface. So that's the idea with Cairo. So if you see me working with frame contexts or surfaces or stuff like that, I'm basically working with individual components of this. The Gathros, you don't need num frames when you use that method. I think you do, the Gathros, but maybe I'm wrong here. You either need some sort of Okay, you don't, because you could also malloc it later. You could dynamically allocate it with the malloc command. You're right, you don't need to. However, I thought that the malloc command would be a little bit messier in implementation. And in all honesty, we don't need this anymore. We could actually just have a single frame here, and just have each frame have a single draw frame command. And I think that should be perfectly okay. The thing is, we'd have to have like some sort of frame ID or something like this. And the other thing too is I have the frame kind of ambiguated, I guess if that's a word, with the general parameter class for this set of visualizations. So that's another thing we need to fix. There's a lot of things we need to fix about this. 1 second, let me take a look at this. Okay, good. The problem with having a side chat is that I get constantly distracted with the side chat and also the main chat. Okay, so let's see. So what I want to do then is go ahead and start attacking this, I guess. So what I want to do is get that basic visualization we had up and running before, and let me just go ahead and run that visualization too so you guys see it. So let's run .viz test. I want to get this working again, except rendered in a different way. I don't know how long this is going to take. It might take all day, it might only take 30 minutes. If it only takes 30 minutes, then we're going to start working on the shape functions and stuff like that. Because the shape functions are also in a complete state of disarray, where I have like grow circle and draw circle and all this different stuff. It is not clear how to basically create these different shapes and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this one did. I think if I do mirage temp and then image 00000, we have that PNG, and here's what we're currently visualizing. We have a basic plot just to show that the plot works. Then we have, why does this go all the way down there? It shouldn't go all the way down there. Yeah, it should stop at the bottom here of this plot. Well, that's something we need to fix. Great. Okay, so I'm going to write that down. We need to fix the plot. Plot function. Okay, there's another thing to fix. And again, guys, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, feel free to let me know, and I will totally address them as soon as I see them in chat, or as soon as I can. Okay, so I think everything is working okay, besides that plot function. That's something we'll attack in a bit. Good, okay. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be related to the stream. How do you prefer? Wait, what is this? Open link? What do we have? Output file. Oh, yeah, this guy. Let me see, what are the results right now? The results still look like most people prefer no output file and random input for that particular system. Roxandra says, considering the algorithm archive community scaling, if there was a way to discuss blocks of code within algorithms, people coming from the wild could quickly locate features of implemented algorithms in the pertinent language and participate in the discussion. Not sure how to implement that, but I was taking inspiration from Stack Overflow. I actually think this is already done. So if we go to, where's my internet browser? Oh, there's my internet browser. If we go to GitHub, and then we go here, I thought of a way to do shapes without inheritance. Oh, cool, yeah, I'll take a look at that then. That's not what I want to do. I want to go to the algorithm archive here. Then I go to the pull requests, and I want to go to, like, for example, this one here. The idea is that we have this discussion already happening. So every time someone puts up code, we have the discussion of the code here. And I think that's okay. I honestly think it works pretty well, or it has worked pretty well for at least this this simulation here. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to get something basic done working for this frame stuff here. And again, the idea is that we remove the num frames entirely. So that's what I kind of want to work up to. And then we can go from there and see how it goes. So what I'm going to do is open up the last file here. And I guess what I'm going to do is just go ahead and start removing num frames from each of these guys here. So in principle, we only need one frame surface, and we need only one frame context, which means we don't technically need a star here. We can just remove the star. But I've got a feeling removing the star is going to kill us, but let's try it. Let's just remove the star here. Cairo surface T, Cairo background context. Yeah, so I think these guys we malloc later. Let me think, what do we have? Resolution X, frame surface I. When we do init over here, we have Cairo image surface create, resolution X, resolution Y. Yeah, I'm not sure how this would go. So let's go ahead and just try working on things one bit at a time. So I'm going to go over here, right and quit, and we're going to go into VI source and visualization test. And what I'm going to do for now is I'm just going to kind of comment out all of the stuff that we currently have. And hopefully, yeah, hopefully that'll be okay. So the problem is I did all of these, I did some really stupid commenting styles here. I apologize for that. So let me go ahead and post here. Do that. So because I commented this in this way, I feel like I just want to delete this. Let me think. Do I care about humans? No, I do not care about humans. I mean, I will in a bit, but we'll get to that in a second. What is this? Highlight color, draw permutations. Again, I don't care about this either for now. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove all this. So what I want to do is test element by element just to make sure everything is working the way I want it to. So we have this function which is layers equals init layers, and we give it some sort of resolution and stuff to work with. So what I want to do is start by just generally creating a frame. And in order to generally create the frame, I need to create a constructor for this, which should be relatively straightforward. JSPP, everyone can vote if they want, but I'll apply the results on the code prop in the next hours. Fair enough. Let me get some water, and then we can keep working on this. I'm not sure how this will go. We'll see. Let's see, what's Roxano saying? Roxano says he's referring to the online book. And you can also comment on the Gitbook text and open an issue as far as I know. Yeah, you can totally do that too. The Gitbook text allows people to basically do whatever they want in terms of... do I like humans? The Gitbook allows you to comment and stuff on the Gitbook. So here, let's show that too. If we go to Gitbook. One second, I'm sorry, algorithm archive. And we look at the discussions. There's some weird bug with Gitbook that every time someone tries to discuss something, it opens it up 3 times. I'm not exactly sure why that happens, or whether people have just been like talking about it over and over again. See, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Although I think this guy just commented on it 4 times. I'm not really sure. But anyway, for some reason, every time someone tries to open up a discussion here, it opens it up 3 times, and I'm not sure why. That's just what happens. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close there. I don't know. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this constructor working. Again, I'm awful at this type of thing. So I need to actually look up the syntax for a constructor in C++. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Simple constructor. Okay, let's just do this. Constructor. I'm sorry, guys. I always forget. Every single time. Double private line. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I knew that part. The question was the next part. It's a frame. And then I can't remember the syntax from here. Come on. Give me what I need. Nope, that's not what I need. Dagnabbit. C++. Yeah, that's okay, but that's not the syntax I'm used to seeing. Dagnabbit, why is this such a pain in the butt? 1 second. I mostly type CTOR and press tab. Code snippets for the win. Yeah, I don't know what CTOR is. Sorry about that. Let me think. Set. Okay, song. I can just do this. If I just say this is here, and then we define it. Let's see. So the thing is, I have this set up in kind of a weird way, where we have like a single frame put together into multiple layers, you know? So, we're gonna have to go through and fix like literally everything for this to work. And I need another terminal up, which is kind of a pain in the butt, but we'll figure that out. So I guess I'll put another one up here, and I'll flip between these two. It's not the best, but that's how we have to do it. So what I want to do very simply is do the init layers command, but do it without, yeah, so I want to do this. std vector frames, and sorry about that. And we'll call it layers. And we're just going to say this is init layers of, and we're going to do the same thing they have here. So let's just go ahead and put this here. And then we're going to do 3 layers and then res, FPS, and background color. And again, this will be changed in the near future. We're just going to kind of move it one step at a time forward. So let's go ahead and get this command working. So first we have to fix the init layers command. Let's go over here and let's go into vi source frame functions. And now we have to fix all of this. So let's go to the init command first. And basically the idea here is that we go through all of the number of frames. However, man, maybe we have to think about this differently. Maybe what we need is, so we have frame, but the init command here is not going to be initting really anything. Yeah, something. Yeah, that's about right. But that's not what I'm trying to do. There's another syntax that people usually use to set all of the variables for the syntax there. Okay. So what do I want to do? I want to do, we have frame surface I. We're going through all of them and we're defining that. So I guess what I need to do is just define the single frame surface. Yeah. So we define the same single frame surface there. Alright, good thing we have this all on Git so we can fix it in a bit. So we have the frame surface here, and we have the frame surface here. Now, if I remember correctly, power image surface create, that should be okay. And I think this should do it. So let's just go ahead and DD here, DD there. And then let's just go ahead and do 4x all the way down. And I think, no, that probably doesn't quite fit. Okay, seems good. So now we've created the surface on just a single image, and I think this should help. So now we have that initialized. So now let's go down to the create, what was it called? Layers? Here. Okay, so we have draw layers. That's not what I want. I want create layers. Init layers. There we go. Yeah, but that's, again, that is correct. Don't get me wrong, but that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for another type of constructor that we always see. I just can't remember what it looks like, which is why I always have trouble with it. It's like got colons in it and a whole bunch of random nonsense. Let me think. Let me see. What do we have? I'd have to look at some old code. Maybe it's in let's CD project simuleos, CD geometrical optics, maybe vi geometrical optics.cpp. One second, geometrical.cpp. Maybe we have it. No, it's not gonna be there. Let's try in geometrical.h maybe. Oh yeah, I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look into it later. Out of interest, PNG Portable Network Graphics has some heritage from IFF interchange file format, which defines blocks internally. Anything not recognized is skipped when loading the file. In other words, you could store metadata used to generate the image if you needed it. Timecodes, alpha, slurps, and such. Yeah, I think that's fair enough, right? It's in vec.h. Okay, let me take a look at there. So let's do cd. Go here. Quit. Rank quit. vi include vec.h. Yeah, that's the one I wanted. That one right there. Okay, good, because I always forget that syntax. Okay, we'll do that in just a bit. Let's go ahead and get what we currently have working. So we have init layers here. And I guess the idea here is we have layers for num layer. Let's see, layer num. Vector frame layers, layer num. Where do we have layer num? Oh, layer num will be 3. Then we say for size t I equals 0 I less than layers.size plus I create background. I think actually init layers should work as it's currently set. I think. So, sorry, again, I'm having trouble like looking between the two chats. It'd be nice if everyone was just on Twitch chat. Like that would be the best. But I understand that, you know, you can't get on Twitch right now, Gathros, so that's fine. So let's go ahead and cd into projects, and let's do CaiVL here. And then we go from there. Okay, so in principle, we should be able to create the layers as it's currently set, and we'll see how that goes. So let me go over here. Let's right quit, and let's make this and see where it breaks. It breaks with comments. So let's go into visualize test.cpp, vi source viz test.cpp, and I think it's just because I screwed up down here. Yeah. And let's make that. Okay, let's go ahead and clear, and just clear one more time. And let's do make. Okay, so frame service has incomplete type, Cairo frame service T. Let me think, what do we have here? Frame context has incomplete type, Cairo T. That's interesting. So let me go into, what do we do? Let me go into vi source, and I'm sorry, I think this is include, and it will be frame functions. And I think I just need a star there, which is, again, interesting, but that is how it is. I remember thinking that this was quite wonky when I got into it. And let's go ahead and make that. Okay, great. Let's Control L a couple times, and let's try it again. Make that and see what we have. Okay, fantastic. What do we have here? A whole bunch of errors. Lots and lots and lots of errors. Great. Lots of errors. Fantastic. Grow circle, frame context, I. Ah, yes, those are all going to break. Great. So those are all going to break because of the way we have this set. But man, I'm just gonna have to fix everything if we do it this way. So maybe the way I'm thinking about doing this is just wrong. Maybe I have to rethink how we're gonna do this. Or we're just gonna have to make a big change all at once. Maybe we should do it that way. Yeah, let's go ahead and change all those guys too. Let's go ahead and go into vi source and frame function. So then, shoot, this is gonna be such a pain in the butt. Okay, because here's how I currently have it set. Page, new page before. Okay, let's go ahead and draw this out. So the way I have it set is because we have the vector of all the frames that we're going to draw on, the idea here is that we kind of say, okay, so for frames, let's say 1 through 10, we draw the circle. So frame 1, it looks like this, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Does that make sense? Like, the idea is that we draw here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pretend that those were all evenly dispersed around the circle, so that we're drawing on frame 1 from here to here, on frame 2 from here to here, on frame 3 from here to here, on frame 4 from here to here, so on and so forth. So now we have to change how we're doing all of those functions, which is fine, but I need to kind of think about how that's going to happen too, and I kind of want to deal with that later because it's going to be a pain in the butt. So let me again get another sip of water because apparently I get thirsty like every 2 seconds, and we can either do a huge change to this as it's currently set, or we can kind of comment it out and deal with this in a bit. I think I'm keen to try to just comment it out and deal with it bit by bit. And again, I apologize that we're not going to be going through any like really heavy algorithms for the next few days. I think I need to get this visualization stuff set and figured out. And then from there, we'll kind of figure everything else out and hope that it all works out. So let's pop here. Let's go into shape functions. That should exist. Source. Oh, I think it's just called CairoViz.cpp. I'm just gonna see what happens if we just comment this whole thing out. It's probably not gonna work, obviously, but hey, why not? Go here and make that. Oh, it broke. Let's go ahead and clear here. And let's make it one more time. Yeah, so these all errors are, cannot convert Cairo, oh wait, what? Frame functions, frame surface, not cleared in the scope. Oh, I see. Okay, so these are all going to be in the frame functions file, so let's go ahead and go there. Let's go into frame functions, and we can actually fix all of these guys. And I think these are probably worth fixing. Let's go to 9, and we have frame surface of I. Yeah, so all of these guys just need to be frame surface and frame context. Now let me think. We're gonna have to clear everything a lot. Yes, we're gonna have to clear a lot. And reinitialize everything. Ah, man, that's gonna be slow, isn't it? Now I have to think about this again. I mean, maybe if we reinitialize, that'll be okay. Okay, let me think. So here's my current, now I'm wondering about this. And again, this is kind of a silly thing to worry about, but you know, this is kind of what I'm worried about. So these visualizations sometimes take hours, if not a full day, depending on the visualization you're doing and the, I guess you can say the size of that visualization. We have all these frames, you know, they're all being drawn, and they're all being loaded into memory, which means it's actually quite quick. In order to go from frame to frame to frame to frame to frame, this doesn't take very long. However, if we have to continually clear the frame before putting a new frame in, we could do double buffering, which is what they do in OpenGL. So the rendering frame, yeah, maybe double buffering is the solution here. So we have a render frame and then a compute frame. So we're computing something on one frame and we're rendering something on the other frame. So I guess the solution here is like double buffering, which is something we're gonna have to implement, but we'll do it in a bit. Okay. Fake Gathros. Yes, I made a new email and made a new account. I feel like, wait, didn't you have real Gathros before or something like that? I feel like that was totally a thing. Thanks so much for doing that, by the way. I really appreciate it. This means I can actually see your chat much easier. Okay. So now what are we gonna do? So I think that's the solution there, some sort of double buffering type of thing. Where's the real one? No? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop over here and let's see. So let's go ahead and fix everything as it's set. So I guess I'm just gonna kind of go through, and every time we see frame context, just I guess destroy all is no longer destroy all, it's just destroy. And we do the following. And down here for create background, we don't do it on all contexts, we just do it on the single context that we're reading in. DD here, DD there, and then we're gonna do there. Okay, so down here, same thing too. We just do DD, DD, and then we go to delete these guys over here. Pop over here, do a quick 4x. Good, keep going. Oh, this is gonna be such a pain in the butt, but let's do it. Okay, so DD there, DD there, and we're just gonna remove some stuff here. So 4x. Oh, sorry about that. And here's the paint source that we were saying before. So we're gonna go here, frame context, destroy this guy, destroy that guy over there. Okay, here, and where's the last one? There. Great. Let me think. I tried this last month, but Google asked me for a phone number. Now it didn't. Oh, good, because I don't have a phone number. So, like, the thing was, I would have probably done the Twitch affiliate thing, you know, because that is one of those things that kind of guarantees you quality options every day. However, I decided not to because they required you to put your phone number, associate a phone number with a Twitch account, and I don't have a phone number. So there wasn't any way for me to do that. Let's see. Now I'm a peasant. You were always awesome. Okay, so now what are we going to do? We are going to, what is this? Draw layers. I see. So this is for all the different layers. And I think that's okay. So we're going to keep the layers as is, so DD there, but we're going to remove the frame context stuff. So let's go ahead and do 4x here. Okay, and now let's go ahead and remove the frame surface here, and the frame surfaces and contexts up here and here. Again, the entire goal for today is just to be able to render black frames, nothing but just simple black frames, without, yes, there we go. So let's go ahead and make this without having to store them into memory. So let's see, what do we have? We have 55. So let's go ahead and DD there. And let's think. A SIM card is only £1 here. Yeah, I mean, I could probably do that, don't get me wrong, but I just haven't. I mean, why spend money on things you don't need, you know? Oh, actually, I need to undo this last one because we actually need this. So I guess for now, we'll just say all of them are drawing to frame 0, but we're actually gonna have to draw them in a bit. So I guess we need to draw frame and we need an ID in frame. So I guess this is going to be draw frames and then it's going to be frame.id or something like this. Not sure. Look, if we can get anything drawn at all today, that's all I want to do. Oh, by the way, I was thinking about doing something recently. I wanted to get this visualization library up and running to the point that we can actually do some really cool, I guess you could say, art algorithms or something like this. And so, how do I put this? I guess I'm going to want to do ID here. And then the next one will be 85, and we're going to do ID there. Let's go ahead and write this. Go here, go into VI include. Actually, it might already be up. No, it is not. Where is it? Whatever, VI include. And let's go into frame functions. Yeah, that's the one I want. Pop down here and let's go ahead and create an int ID. Why not here? Okay, there we go. Write this, quit, make that. ID is not declared in the scope. Is it not a part of frame? 1 second. Oh, that's because it's draw layers, so this would be frame.id. Yes, so it's going to be layer of, I guess, 0.id. Yep, that should do it. Go over here and make that. Hopefully this makes. LD, return X is status 1. Let's make clean, I guess. Make. All right, great. So it doesn't make. That's okay. Make it blue, not black. Then it would be a blue screen. Blue screen of death. Okay. So what I was going to say is I wanted to do some really cool art algorithms at some point. You know, like you see all the time these people doing like these crazy visualizations of I don't know, just different things, and they say it's like algorithmically generated. And I was like, you know what? It'd be really cool if we could do that on this stream. You know, like do something super cool, like some sort of, I don't know, algorithmically generated art. In particular, there was this really cool group of people online. I know I talk about them a lot, and I apologize for that. But like the animators, like Jaden. So Jaden Animations is like one of my favorite of the animators. She just is one of those talky type of people. Just all she does is animate herself and talk. But every once in a while, she gets together with other animators and they kind of like draw things and they kind of like create this story from the stuff that they drew. And I thought, you know, it'd be really cool if we could get the visualization library up to a point that we could actually draw things that look, you know, kind of human-esque. Like it looks like a human kind of, sort of, could have drawn this. And then I wanted to try to collaborate with one of these people and be like, hey, can we draw something together? You'll draw it with your hand, I'll draw it with code, and we want to see which one looks better, you know? And in the end, this is always going to look better, but I want it to be this kind of thing where, you know, we show that you can draw with code, and it's kind of neat. Let's see, Gothic Death Eater, thanks for coming in. More plebs are needed. Simulars, if the program runs out of memory, then it wouldn't be able to blue screen of death. Yeah, fair enough, that is true, so we need to be careful about that. I don't get how people live without phones. I think most people live without phones. Yeah, this is soundproofing. It is soundproofing that used to be on the door of my old room, but then it obviously wasn't proofing sound well enough. So I moved back into this room, which has way more room between myself and the other rooms in the house. So this is one of those things that would be, basically I can be as loud as I want, without necessarily waking up my roommates, because of course it's 5:48 in the morning, so that's how it is. We are the pleb army, and Simulaos is the pleb lord. Yeah, pretty much. You can't be a pleb and a lord. They're mutually exclusive. It's like being a hot cold. Yeah, that is true. I mean, you're right about that one. Cannot deny it. Okay, so now let's see. What is the error here? In function construct frame. Let's think. What do we have? I guess the problem here is, let's go into frame functions here, and let's just remove this simple constructor for now, because it doesn't exist. Okay, that one seemed to work. Great, so now if we run it, haha, it does something. Okay, so now in principle, we've created the frame. Now we can potentially draw the frame, right? Because all of these functions should, in principle, work. So let's see if we can draw a frame, just a simple frame, something kind of sort of working. Okay, so we have PNG base, PNG name, create frame. How does this work? So when we do init layers, here, let's see, we have layer num, vec, resolution, int FPS, background color. And the idea here is that we just create the frame every time step, we initialize it, and we do current frame equals 1. Okay. So create the frame there, and so I guess in init, let's go up here to the top where we have init. I also just want to say frame.id is going to be equal to, so let's go here and just say id is going to be equal to 0. G there. Wait, what? How does that work? Int line width equals 3. Why do I have to do an int there? Oh, I see. CaiVL set line width font join. Yeah, fine, fair enough. So in principle, this sets the ID, so we should be able to draw frames. Now, where's the draw frames command? I think, or draw layers should work. And we should be able to draw the layer of an individual ID. So what I want to do then is draw layers and see what happens if we do that. So we're going to write and quit here, go into CaiVL.viz.cpp, and now I just want to do, not CaiVL, sorry about that, vi source, and let's do frame functions. Now, what do I want to do? I want to quit out of there because I did something really dumb. Now let's try that again. And we have frame in it. Again, where am I going? Source viz test probably. There we go. And now I just want to do the draw layers command, which should just be draw layers. So draw layers of layers. In principle, this should work. Okay, let's try removing all of the images in temp. And let's just go ahead and run the visualization test. Okay, let's do a quick ls of the images in viz temp. So let's do ls temp image. We have an image. Okay, let's see what happens. So let's go into Mirage temp. Hopefully it's black image 000.png. All right, we got a black image. Let's see if we can change that background color. What color is your favorite color? Quick, guys, favorite color. You have 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7. I'm counting quickly. Let's think. What do we have here? Peers into blank screen of success. What is communist dictator then? Gothic Death Eater? Okay. Well, communism has to be enforced because proportionally most... wait. Communism has to be enforced because proportionally most people won't agree with it, and then it becomes something else, hence dictator. So we got a mixture between blue and purple. I don't know what that kanji is. I'm very sorry. I should. In fact, let me just Google what this kanji is. Is this Aka? No, Akai? No, I feel like it's red, but I'm not gonna definitely say. So let's do translate. Oh, that's not how you spell translate, but I got it anyway. It's red. Yeah, got it. One of these days. So we have red, blue, and purple. If you mix the red and blue together, you get purple. So basically, you guys voted for purple twice. So we're gonna do red, 1, blue, 1. There we go. Write this. Go over here. Make that. And now we're gonna do quick visualization test in Mirage. There we go. Pink. I'm sorry. Let's make it purple. I'm gonna drop the colors and freaking. This is 0.5 and 0.5. Make that. So desu kedo. So desu kedo. Hai. So desu kedo. Hai. I'm sorry. I'm just so bad at Japanese. So there we go. Purple is. You know, we're getting there. Okay, good. So that means we do have the frames being drawn. That's great. So now let's go through and fix up the frame function so that we can do more stuff with it. In particular, I want to be able to draw multiple frames. So now we want to draw 3 frames at once, right? So why is color only int and not double? We can do double. It's just whatever we want. Follow Bamber, nice. Thanks for coming in. Let's see, what do we have? So purple. Yeah, it's great. You guys, thanks so much for voting. Amazing people. Okay, so what we need to do is, I guess what we need to do is, well, we need to do a lot of things. There's a lot of ways that we can move here. So let's go into the frame functions and let's go from there. Is there an audio visual video lag? There could be. Every once in a while there is, and there isn't really much I can do about that. See, it looks fine on my end. There might be a little bit of a lag today. So here's the thing. What happens is every day my camera has a different latency, and I don't know what the latency is until I wake up in the morning and I turn the camera on. The problem is if I turn the camera on and I don't know, it's just hard. If I turn the camera on, I turn it on for OBS, and then I have to change the microphone delay based on what OBS says, and it's a pain. It's a pain every day. I have to set it differently. So I just kind of set it on something that's close enough and hope that people forgive me. So frame functions here. Fit Gatho's color change. Probably the definition of Lord is too hierarchical, but I don't know the official one. Yes, good conversations. Okay, so what are we going to do then? What I want to do now is to be able to draw a single frame, clear it, and then draw a different color on the frame. And I know this sounds really dumb, but the question is, how do we clear a frame and redraw a frame and all this kind of stuff? Because what's going to end up happening is we're going to draw basically most of a circle, and then on top of that, we're going to have to draw the, here, let me draw this out for you guys. New page before. So let's say we're animating a circle, okay? So frame 1 is going to have, I don't know, maybe this part of the circle drawn. Frame 2 is going to have this part of the circle drawn. Frame 3 is going to have, let's do pink, this part of the circle drawn. 4 is going to have this part of the circle drawn. 5 is going to have this part of the circle drawn. And 6 is going to have, yeah, I did that very wrong. Let me just erase this and try that again, because whatever I tried to draw there didn't make any sense. So yeah, just you guys keep talking in chat, and I'll get this up and running. So first time step, we draw this. We draw this. Second time step, we draw this. Third time step, we draw this. Fourth time step, we draw this. Fifth time step, we draw this. Still didn't help. I'm sorry. It's an arc you're extending over n frames. That's exactly the thing. Now here's the thing. In the first frame that we're going to draw, we draw this. In the second frame, we have to clear the context. So in between this frame and this frame, we remove this one. You know, I shouldn't have it in black. It should be in a color I haven't used yet. Pink. So we shouldn't use this frame. And then after that, we shouldn't use this frame, then this frame, then this frame, then this frame from then on, if that makes sense. So the idea is we have to clear the context, and then we go from there. Layus, while having no clue what the convo is, you guys are talking about communist dictators or something like that, you know? Let's see. So it's an arc you're extending over n frames. Exactly that. Me and Roxana have transcended on Simuleo's chat. Now I don't know what it's about, actually, if I'm being honest. Okay, so what do we do? The idea then is that we have to clear the context and draw it again. So that's what I'm going to try next. I'm going to try to clear a current frame, draw a new frame on top of it. And I'm trying to think of a way to do this without reinitializing the frame. And that's probably because I don't want to take too much time, you know, and I feel like reinitializing the frame is going to take some time. But maybe it won't. I mean, look at all these parameters we're setting. We're saying frame surface, frame context, line width, font size, line join, line cap. Maybe it's fine. Yeah, maybe it's fine. Maybe none of these are particularly hard to reset. Okay, let's see what happens. So we have the initialize function here. We have destroy all, but I think I just want to call this destroy. CaiVL destroy, CaiVL surface destroy, all that kind of stuff. And then I guess it's a quad tree? No, it's not a quad tree. Quad trees are different. Definitely different. Speaking of which, I think I do want to do the Barnes Hut algorithm super soon. So there's a lot of things I want to do. So here's my current problem. I've mentioned this before, but I think most of the algorithms that I've done for the algorithm archive so far have been rather straightforward. You know, they're super simple, nothing complicated about them. In fact, most of the algorithms that I will be covering are going to be that way. You know, super simple, not very complicated. But I think every once in a while I need to intersperse it with something that is actually complicated and kind of fun to code. So that's kind of what I want to move into the fractal flame algorithm and stuff like this, because maybe they aren't the most complicated to code, but they produce really interesting results. The problem is, up to this point, I've kind of just been doing background. I mean, we did one on a convolution the other day. We did one on bit logic, you know? The algorithms and the methods that we've been covering are basically the fundamental stuff that you need in order to move on to more complicated things. At this point, though, hey, Screwy Chaotix, thanks for coming in. It is Wednesday my time, but happy Tuesday your time. So the way I have it set right now, we have kind of the fundamentals of a bunch of different algorithms that we can move into. So the question then is, which algorithms do we move into? Because we have a lot of complicated ones that I think would be really fun. The other thing too is I want to start increasing the quality of the algorithm archive chapters to the point that the chapters are you know, very, very enjoyable and fun to read. The Gale Shapley algorithm was the one that kind of broke me. I was like, you know what? This one took forever to edit, and quite frankly, I didn't have any time to work on the algorithm archive article, and I'm not happy with that. So that's why I decided I'm not going to push myself to put videos out every week. A schedule is very important, so I'm going to try to put videos out every other week, and hopefully that's going to be okay. Focusing on the quality of, you know, the pictures that we're working on, the visualizations we're doing, all that kind of stuff. Then afterwards focusing on consistency. So that's kind of what I want to do. GSPP got told by Gathros I should transcend here as well. I don't know what you guys mean by transcend, but hey, thanks so much for doing that, I guess. Okay, so we have the initialize function here. So let's go ahead and go from there. So we have create background, which calls create background, Cairo set source RGB. And I think I use create background here. Cairo create background surface. Where do I use create background? Create background. What? What? Vector frame init layers. Oh, I see. Oh, I get it now. So we init layers. Okay, that makes sense. Then we do temp image. Yep, okay, fair enough. I see what the deal is. See what the deal is exactly. So only the background layer has a background color on it. Every other layer doesn't have anything on it. Fake Gathers join us. Are you guys just putting... What are you guys doing? I'm actually genuinely confused. Rockstar, are you guys just... I don't know what you guys are doing. I'm sorry. What are you guys doing to do the star thing? Huh. I'm actually not sure. Okay, good. Fair enough. So we're going to create background, background color red, green, blue. And this should be okay. So let's pop up here and see what we got. You should... Wait, if you chat normal, you should not write that? Don't tell him? Okay. So we're going to do... Wait, does this actually work over here? Oh yeah, fair enough. Thanks, Rextandro. Appreciate it. Okay, so now we're going to do init destroy all. Okay, so let's try this. So do I need to destroy the context in between things? Right here, go into VI, include, and it's going to be frame functions here. And I guess what I'm going to do is destroy. Change this just to destroy. Right, quit. Okay, right this. Now let me think. The secret is out. Good old IRC. I didn't realize it was an IRC thing. Hey Thorn Forge, thanks for coming in, man. So we have this destroy function. So the question is, do I have to destroy in between every frame? I don't know. So what I'm going to do then is we have these frame layers. I guess I could just reinitialize the layers on top of the previous layers. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But the question is, if we have all these layers that we're drawing on, do we even have to delete the previous layer? That's a super good question. So let's try something then. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a very simple arc, render that arc, and then see what happens from there. So we have draw layers there. So I guess I think this is going to be good. So let's try it. So I'm going to do a very simple Cairo arc, which I know we have before in shape function. So let's go here and let's check to make sure I'm not doing something stupid. So I'm going to say vi source, source shape functions. And now I'm going to look for, I think it's Cairo Viz. Now let's look for Cairo arc. And the idea here is we're drawing on some frame context and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to say Cairo arc. And this is just going to draw part of a circle. And we're going to say layers. And I'm going to draw it on the first layer. And we're going to say it's going to be a frame context. And again, this is just a list of frame contexts. But I don't think we need the I anymore. So now we can just run the origin X and origin Y. And so I guess we're going to put this at, let's see, it's 400, 300. So we're going to do 200 and then 150. Let's do 50. And then we want the radius of 50, let's say. And we're going to say it's going to be drawing from 0 to 2 m pi. Let's do m pi. Okay. We're going to draw that frame. I'm going to yank to yank. We're going to paste it down here. And then we're going to draw layers again. And what I'm going to do is in the draw layers command, let's go here, write this, go into write and quit vi include frame functions. In the draw layers command, shoot, what am I doing? Vi source frame functions. And let's go to draw layers. Here, we should be drawing layer.id. And then what I want to do is do, ooh, that's not what I meant to do. Layer of 0. Layers, one of these days, layer of 0 dot id plus equals 1. Gonna quit, make that. Warning within comment. Where is that? CaiVL.cpp. Should be okay. So let's go ahead and run this. So viz test. And let's do a quick ls of temp. Okay, we have 2 images. That's pretty good. Run the last mirage. So we have purple with 1. Oh, but I think I need to change the context color, or change the color. So what I want to do now is, what am I going to do? 1 second, I have to think about this. So if I go into the shape functions here, CaiVL.h, Cairo arc, there should be in here something that allows me to change the color, I think. End frame, color, circle color. Where's the circle color? Color radius, Cairo fill. Cairo set source RGB. That's what I need. So to set the source RGB, let's go ahead and do it that way. Okay, so we're gonna do Cairo set source RGB here, and it's just gonna be anime.frame context. In this case, it's gonna be layers of 1.frame context. Dot frame context. And what's your favorite color, guys? Give me your favorite color. You guys said purple last time, so maybe something else this time. Totally up to you. Cairo fill? We don't need to do the Cairo fill, I don't think. Just Cairo stroke is what I need to do. So let's go ahead and do Cairo stroke here. And I think that's going to be the problem. The Cairo stroke command. Green. Okay, so we got 1 for green. Okay, frame context. So this is going to be layers of 1.frame context. One second. In principle, that should build. And we're going to do yank here and paste there. Okay, so we got green. That was fast. Okay, looks like green it is. So we're going to do red, green, and blue. So we're going to do, I guess, D $, DD here. A, and it's just going to be red, which is going to be 0, green, which is 1, and then we're going to have blue, which is 0, and alpha, which is also 0, and that should be okay, right? Let's go over here and make that. So let's see what happens if we do mirage. Oh, we have to run it real quick. Then we run the last mirage. Okay, we have this guy, and we have nothing. Dag nabbit, where is it? We did Cairo stroke, right? We did layers. Do I have to do a Cairo fill? Oh, maybe it has to be layers of 1.frame context. Like that. Oh no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work at all. This should be layers. That should be correct. Layers of 1.frame context should also be correct. Okay, we'll try to get this working. Give me just a second. So we're going to do CaiVL.cpp, and what I want to do, let's look for another Cairo arc. What am I doing this wrong here? We do the Cairo arc on layers 1.frame context. We give it a location, which I say is radius times 1.25. Oh, sorry, which I say is origin.x, origin.y, and then the current radius 0 and 2m pi. I just make it draw to m pi. Maybe I'd make this one draw to 2m pi. Make a new layer. I don't think I need to make a new layer. It shouldn't have to. Yeah, 1 second. I should be able to draw on the current layer just fine. The Cairo set source RGB. Cairo set source RGB anime frame context. So we should be. Oh, hey, that's your fan. Thanks for coming in. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day, by the way. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to let me know in the chat, and I will totally address it as soon as I see it. Okay, so what is the issue here? Cairo set source RGB layers 1.frame context 0, 1, 0, 0. Oh, I know the problem. I set the alpha value to 0. make that. And we should be able to see, after visualization test, hopefully, yeah, half a circle, and then a full circle. Fantastic. All right, so we can draw these animations. However, there's currently a problem that you guys are probably very well aware of. And that is that between these two guys, there's actually a difference. Let me see if I can... how do I do this? Let me see if I can increase the size here. Wait. As soon as I see it, which will be in half an hour. Yeah, pretty much. I'm sorry, I'm doing my best to balance between chat and everything. The thing is, either I get too distracted by chat or not distracted enough. And so I kind of have to go back and forth. Thornforge, I was going to say it, but every time I ever said anything, I was wrong. Well, you would have been right this time, so it would have been great. So now we have to talk about how to clear the layer. And the question is, how do we do that? And that's a very good question. So we have this context.destroy thing, but we need a clear function, I think, between the two. So how do we do the clear? Okay, do we have a clear already? That's a good question. Let's see. So we go into CaiVL.cpp. No, I want to go into vi source and what is it called? Frame functions. We have frame.destroy. We can destroy the context. But I feel like, what do I actually need to do? I want to clear the context. Can I clear the context? Cruises through his fully CLI debugging sessions? Ah, man. I love CLI. GDB is amazing, by the way. I really like GDB. Okay, what was I going to do? I was going to do something. Clearing contexts. Cairo, something like this. I just want to clear a context. Let's see how this goes. What minimal C program using Cairo? I just want to clear Control F. Oh, how do I clear a surface? Cairo set paint RGB, Cairo paint on the context. So the only way they're telling me... Okay, wait. No, there's other ways to do this. Set source RGB, set operator, Cairo paint, Cairo restore. Of course, you don't want to forget that using default Cairo operator over again when you're finished. And the most convenient habit for doing this is just to use Cairo save, Cairo restore. Okay, so we can do the following. We can save the blank context, and then we can restore that context at all times. The question is that the cleanest way to do this? So we Cairo save that context, and then we Cairo restore that context. Well, let's give it a shot. And let's see to make sure first if it works. And then we'll see maybe the best way to do this. So then, every time we call Cairo restore, what we're doing is we're restoring a previous version. And I think for our purposes, we're never going to have to do like a Control Z or something like that. So I think the Cairo restore thing should work okay. So we have the init layers, and what I want to do here is in init layers, let me see. So I guess in init layers, let's go down there. After we initialize the layers here, I want to say that we are going to Cairo save. Oh, can we only save one context? That is a good question. Okay, so how about this? What I'm going to do is I'm going to say that we're going to save one context here. So it's going to be Cairo save a particular context. Cairo save, and let's do the context that we're going to be saving here, which is going to be, I guess it's going to be layers of i.frame context. Okay? So now in principle, now forgive me, this is going to be kind of dumb, but in principle between these two layers, I guess in the draw layers command, let's try that. So where's draw layers? What I want to do is between the two layers, we do the draw layer there. Between the two layers, I want to clear it. But see, now here's the other problem. What if we want to draw two lines at the same time? Okay, we'll move up to this one step at a time. So slowly but surely adding more animations and stuff to what we currently have. So we do Cairo paint here, and then after Cairo paint, we do Cairo paint layers.size. And so what I'm going to do then is, I guess just restore all the layers to their saved state. So this is going to be Cairo restore. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. This will do great. This will do just fine, I think. Okay, so Cairo restore. Let's see what happens. Layer of J dot frame context. Okay, so let's see what happens here. I've got a feeling it's not going to work out just the way we want it to, but we'll give it a shot. Visualization test, and run the last mirage, see what we have. There's part of a circle. There's the whole circle. All right, so first of all, it didn't work. Second of all, we're still drawing over the green one. You can tell because, well, there's still green left. So that didn't work at all. That was a dumb decision. Okay, let's try this again. So what we want to do is to be able to completely remove or completely, I guess we're going to have to clear and reinitialize. That's the only thing I can think of right now. It's just that takes forever, you know? Plus, I'm a little bit worried about the following. So let's say we go over here, page, new page before. So let's say we're going to draw something very basic, okay? So we're going to draw like a circle, maybe, animate the drawing of a circle here. And we're also going to be animating the drawing of a line here. So this is going to be drawing this. Oh, come on. I can do better than that. This is going to be drawing this way. And this is going to be drawing this way. Okay? At some frame, let's say frame I, we're going to be the color blue. And we're going to be drawing here. And then we're also going to be drawing here. Okay? So this means that at frame I, we're going to have this image being drawn. So I guess what we need to do then is we need to have it so all of the shapes are in some sort of shape struct. And then the idea is we have some sort of draw shapes command that allows us to iterate through all of the shapes and draw them at the current state that they're at. So this would allow us to have different animations and stuff that we can move shapes and do all this kind of stuff. And I think that's okay. But we ran into a problem when we were doing OpenGL before, in that we did have some sort of STD vector of shapes. Let's pretend that that was also a bracket here. And that got kind of complicated kind of quickly, because when we have all of the shapes in a single large vector, like so, then the only way we can really address an individual shape is by remembering which vector component it's on, which wasn't great, because then, you know, the only way we have to interact with these shapes is via directly remembering what vector component it is. That's something we have to kind of think of. Hey, Mathenex, thanks so much for coming in, man. Smart kid stream? I mean, sure. Smart kid, as in the guy that doesn't know what he's doing. Stream. Why I mentioned quad trees earlier? For the dirty rectangles? What do you mean for the dirty rectangles? What algorithm are we studying today? Today, actually, and for most of this week, we're reworking the visualization library that we've been using up till now. We actually had a huge discussion, or I had a huge internal discussion, and I brought you guys into the discussion, hoping that you guys would have something to say here. See, basically, we have two options to go. One, we can make our own visualization library, or two, we can work on other people's visualization library. Now, our visualization library is actually not bad. It's just not quite as, I guess you could say, robust as, for example, 3 Blue 1 Brown's mathematics visualization library. So we could, in principle, use, well, Manum, which is 3 Blue 1 Brown's visualization library. However, I did have a discussion with the guy, and it seemed, and granted, I could have just been reading him wrong, but it seemed like he didn't want to turn it into a kind of general purpose tool, which is kind of what we're attempting to do here. Do a general purpose math animation or visualization library. And the reason I kind of want to build it on my own is for a number of reasons. One, we're going to be going into a whole bunch of interesting algorithms anyway that deal with color and drawing and all this kind of stuff, computational creativity stuff. So it kind of makes sense that we have our own library for that. It also makes sense because if we build a general purpose library, then it'd be really interesting to have a library that other people could use to make videos of a similar type. And there were some people who've mentioned, not too many, but a few people that mentioned that they watched this stream specifically to figure out how we do the visualizations. So there is then some interest in figuring out how to draw and animate this kind of stuff in a clean way. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. So where you have drawn to the surface can be partitioned off. You can say this part of the surface doesn't require updating, but the rectangle next to it can be drawn into. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. So how about this? Okay, this is something a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, we decided that we were going to do a webcomic. Oh man, back in the day, the webcomic. Do I even have this still working? Okay, so the webcomic was going to be called Subroutines, for the clear reason that subroutines are, you know, what they used to call functions in the good old Fortran days. But the issue was that at the time I had no idea really how to draw these, how to draw anything in code. So this was my first attempt at using Cairo. He's got a statement on the GitHub boiling down to, I share it, but I don't maintain this. I might just rewrite this whenever I want. Yeah, that was exactly the feeling I got too. There wasn't really much thought into backwards compatibility and stuff like that. But that's fair enough. I mean, that's what the simulayos directory is for me. Z buffers are finer granularity, but the overhead is that you must recalculate Z for each pixel. Yeah, so here was an idea that we came up with a long time ago. Let's go to, come on, one of these days. Here we go, CD projects. What do I call it? A subroutine? Subroutine comic, let's go. /subroutine, what happens when I draw it? Mirage subroutine.png. Boom, look at that. Look at that, I love that. Okay, here was the idea. Whew. Okay, let's draw this again. This is just bringing me back, man. Let's go into vi subroutine.cpp. And we should be able to draw multiple frames. Let me see, what do we have here? Man, I spent forever on this too. Oh my gosh. Writing hello world. Jeez. Create scene. This also is super long. Man, what was I doing? How long is this function? File. Find. Oh my gosh, the Bezier curve stuff. Stick figure. Man, consecutive harmonic. Back in the day when I was trying to draw a cloud. Good times. Okay, so where's main? Oh, of course it's at the top. I always put it at the top. So we have box height. What I want to do is increase the panel number. So let's see, we have number of panels, and we have comic there. Where do I put number of panels? Panel comic, line width, num panel. Let's go into vi subroutine.h maybe? Where is it? It has to be in subroutine.cpp, so let's do panel num panel. Oh, there it is. So let's change the number of panels here to 9. And let's make that. And now I'm going to run this real quick. The reason I'm bringing this up at all is, oh, I just ran it. I have to take a look at it. Is because I did something here. There we go. Okay, so the idea was to create multiple panels. And so each of these panels, obviously it's screwed up. Hello world is all the way up here like multiple times. But the idea was that we could create panels that have a very similar background, and we basically copy this panel across so we can create webcomics like super easily, you know? Except entirely in code. And the idea was we were going to create these webcomics entirely in code, and then we were going to just like, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't really have a point after that. I just wanted to create a webcomic in code. That was it. That was the whole point. Man, this was so cool too. Like, man, why did I stop this? This is one of those things that I really wanted to do. TT designator. What's big, blue, and if it falls out of a tree, it kills you? A refrigerator? Oh, what? The Pacific Ocean? I guess it was along the same lines. How do you... you know you can use multiple files. That's the thing in C++. Yeah, you're right. Look, I wasn't the best at coding at the time. I've gotten better. I'm still not the best, but you know, it's going there. Man, I remember working very hard on this. That was, we did Bezier splines and everything, or Bezier curves and everything. Like it was work. It was fun. Back in the day. But we never did it. What do you guys think? Should we revive the subroutine webcomic? Should we do that at some point? No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. No, webcomics. Webcomics are old. No one likes webcomics anymore. Man, I wanted this to be done in Fortran though. Man. Because subroutine, you know, like if everything was in a subroutine, that would be perfect. Like it's just, anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, back in the day. So here was my idea. Here's why I brought it up. So, what I was thinking about doing was creating panels on top of the layers, on top of the things that we're drawing, right? So that each panel has basically a shape in it, and we can move this panel around, do whatever we want with it. then we draw all the panels onto the layer and stuff like that. So the idea then is that each shape has its own context associated with it. So here's the shape context. And then this context is, changes with time or something like that. And then we put this shape onto the layer that we want to draw it on, right? So we have a shape context, and then we have a frame context, and then we draw it from there. The problem is this is going to get kind of complicated kind of quickly, but if we abstract this and we make it easier on the user, maybe it's not going to be so bad. So let me think. Yeah, maybe it won't be so bad if we try that. In fact, man, back in the day, let me do something. I don't think you realize how much work went into this. It was way more work than it was worth. Let me change this to 5, for example. And let's make that. And then run /subroutine. And then run the last mirage. Ha. Ha 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 ha. Oh man. Yeah, so I was worried about tiling, right? I was worried that with odd numbers or something like that, it wouldn't tile right. So I was like, well, how do we do this so that if there's like 5 or something like that? I think we should leave the algorithm archive behind and just draw funny webcomics. I really wanted to do that, but I didn't want to leave the algorithm archive behind. Man, there were all these things that I wanted to do, but I just haven't been able to do. Like man, I would love to be able to just do everything, but I can't. I don't have time for that. I think this is cool, but it solves exactly 0 problems in webcomic creation, I imagine. Yeah, it solves no problems. It's just for fun. I think we should leave life goals. It would be cool for sure. There's a lot of things that would be cool. Actually, it's not so far off being usable, It's pretty close to being usable. Which I think is amazing when you think about it. Like, the fact that we have the ability to just almost immediately draw whatever comic we want with just random code, I think that's really neat. I think that's really neat indeed. Okay, so anyway, let's go back. Sorry, that was one of the reasons I actually got into CaiVL to begin with, because it was one of those things I was trying to figure out how to draw with code. And so I started a stream way back in the day. Were they not flush left? I think they are flush left. Yeah, it should be fine. Oh, why these guys aren't flush left? Because they're not supposed to be flush left. I thought it'd be weird if they weren't centered, so I spent some time trying to figure out how to center them exactly. Ah, good times. Well, if you chill on it and write some more algorithms, you can use new visualization styles in the webcomic. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. I know you guys are gonna hate this, but I've said this before. I find video content to be one of those things that, don't get me wrong, I like it a good bit, but I find it, I'd much rather like read a book than watch a YouTube video, usually, or read a research article or something like that. This isn't always true, but in most cases. Usually there's not anything on YouTube I really want to watch. It's usually just, I'll put it on in the background, or I watch it because it's for some reason popular and I don't understand why it's popular. Now, what we can do is we can ditch everything. I can quit my job. I can quit doing YouTube. I can quit doing everything but the algorithm archive and the webcomic, okay? And then the webcomic does exactly that, JSPP. We do algorithmic explanations in the webcomic. So this guy is just saying, hello world. And that's all I can do for the first webcomic, because that's about as far as I could get. But for the second webcomic, he's like, hello world, how are you? See, we're getting there. Then we kind of go from there. Man, anyway, it doesn't matter. That was a long time ago. Okay, so for the shapes and stuff like that, we can create a shape context, and the shape context can then be drawn onto the layer for the other frame, is what I'm saying. And I think maybe this is the best way to do it. So we have a bunch of shapes that we have, and these shapes have different layers associated with them. That way we don't have to redraw shapes that are already on the field. Ditching your job seems optimistic. No, it's super easy to ditch my job. I just don't go to work anymore, Sure, there's repercussions for that. I'm probably going to get in a lot of legal trouble, but that's okay, who cares? I'm drawing a webcomic. Okay, so draw layers here. Okay, so I guess the only way we're going to be able to... I guess the only way we're going to be able to draw the entire circle at once... So let me try this then. Let me try... If we do... See, if we have init layers... Okay, so let me just get this circle drawn, and we'll go from there. Oh, man. every single day. Like my goals are here, like way up high, and then we get here. And it's okay. I don't mind getting here, but I would love to get here. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe you guys don't. Maybe I'm just being stupid. So let's go ahead and DD there. Right quit. There was one other thing that I had to DD on. Oh, draw layers. Draw layers. Okay, so it should be down here. CaiVL restore. We just no longer restore. Okay. So, how do we completely clear a context? Good question. Let's see if I can figure that one out. Set operator CaiVL operator source. If you want to clear the surface to something other than the opaque color, simply modify the code above as CaiVL set source RGBA. Will not work since CaiVL uses overcompositing operated by default. By blending something entirely transparent over something else has no effect at all. Instead, you can use the source operator, which copies both color and alpha values directly from the source to the destination instead of blending. Okay, so we do CaiVL set source RGBA, CaiVL set operator, CaiVL operator source. Okay, good. And then CaiVL paint. Okay, fair enough. That's what we need to do. So what I'm going to do is create a new function in here that's to clear. Oh. Okay, apparently already created that. I probably should have used that because I said about 30 minutes ago, man, if only we had a function to clear contexts. And I was like, I know I wasn't smart enough to do that back in the day. Apparently I did it. So let's just go ahead and CaiVL stroke and then CaiVL clear. Clear context, CaiVL T context. Okay, so we're just going to do yank paste. Why? I don't know why I'd ever yank and paste there. Okay, so we do CaiVL stroke. After draw layers, I'm just going to go down here and we're going to say clear context. And the context I want to clear is layers of 1.frame context. Okay, so this should turn it back into a clear frame to draw on in just a second. So let's go ahead and make that. And let's see what happens if we run visualization test. And then the last mirage. Actually, not the last mirage. Maybe the last mirage? I don't know. Let's try it. Perfect. Actually, is that right? No, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. How do I check to see if that's right? Let's go ahead and change the color again. So guys, give me another color. What is your favorite second color? So we're going to change the source here and change the arc. Give me another color, guys. All you had to do was believe in yourself, but you doubted yourself. No, I screwed up. Apparently, the clear context doesn't work. That's what I'm guessing. So, give you guys a few seconds. Another favorite color. Not green or purple. Why aren't we seeing a webcomic drawn by now? By the way, I don't think you realize how long it took for me to draw that. I mean, that was like weeks of work getting that webcomic drawn. Actually, maybe it wasn't weeks. Yellow, okay. Red, green, blue. How do we create yellow? I think it's green plus yellow or green plus red. Ochre? What is ochre? Ochre. A color? Is it blue? Is this the color of ochre? I don't think that's the right color. Orange. Okay, so yellow. Yellow is the one that I got. Let's go with yellow. Red, green, so we add 1, 1. Oh, beigeish brown. Beigeish. I'm sorry. Fine, yellow. Okay, Roxana, just don't get mad. Let's go ahead and make that. And let's do the freaking visualization test and then, mirage. Okay, there we have that and that. Do we see green underneath the yellow? Maybe we change the line width too. So let's do, layers of 1. VI source, let's do frame functions and let's do init here. And there should be like a set line width. Yep, that's what I want. So we're going to set line width, and we're going to drop the line width just slightly. Here we are, and it's going to be layers of 1. Dot frame context, and this is going to be line width, but this is going to be, let's do 2. Let's go ahead and quit here, make that. Sorry, an annoyingly bright pink. You misspelled an annoyingly bright pink and instead wrote ochre. So let's go ahead and run visualization test. And let's run Mirage. There. There. Yeah, you can clearly see the green underneath the yellow. So that means we didn't appropriately clear the context. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can figure out how to do that. So the clear context function clearly doesn't work. And let's go from there. So let's go into frame functions and let's go to clear context. Okay, so we have Cairo save, Cairo restore, but in principle we shouldn't be doing the save and restore. Make that. And we're gonna do, what am I gonna do? Visualization test. Mirage. Did that work? No, we still see green. Why do we see green? Not my thoughts. I'm fine with that funny explanation. Wait, I'm somewhat confused. Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, so this means that we're not clearing the context. So we already painted. How do we undo a paint? That's the question. Okay, what do we do? Frequently asked question. They say you just use Cairo operator source, but I've got a feeling that's what we're doing, isn't it? Cairo set source RGBA. Am I doing something wrong here? I thought that's what I was doing. Clear context. Cairo set source context 000. 1 second. 0000. Yep. Context. We're reading in the context. We are doing the right context. Mostly Control Z. Are we drawing those colors on different layers? No, it should be on the same layer, right? Because we say layers 1 frame context. Layers 1 a frame context. So it should be the same layer. Cairo paint. Cairo operator source. They say that this should... So, okay, here's the idea, guys, right? So we have these different layers. I know I have them drawn somewhere. Well... Yeah. So we have these different layers. I don't have them drawn exactly. So let's just pretend I'm using this image here. Only on this layer right here, the very first layer, is there actually a background color. And that background color is purple. All the other layers are transparent. So you can see right through them. So the idea is I want to reset one of the layers to be transparent again. And then hopefully, the next frame, when I draw the next frame, you shouldn't have a problem. Have you made sure that the clear function actually works the way you expected it to? That's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm writing the clear function. And so I guess maybe what I should do is remove this guy down here. Let's go ahead and do this here. And that there. See what happens if we quit here, make that. Maybe. Here, let me try two things. So first we're going to run this. We're going to run Mirage. And this should draw... Yeah, okay, so these two images are the same, as you would expect. Now let me try not stroking this. I'm not going to stroke this layer. So let's go here, make that. Let's see what happens if we do visualization test, and we run Mirage here. So down. Okay, so it's still there, which wasn't what I was expecting. Why would it still be there? Is it still there? Is it still there because I need to clear all 3 layers? That is a good question. Let's see what happens if we try clearing all 3 layers. So we're going to clear context, but I'm going to do yank, paste, paste. Okay, so we're going to do 0, 1, and 2. Make that. So then we need to do Mirage visualization test. Mirage here, down. Okay, so now it's completely clear. So I need to create a command that's called clear layers, okay? And what it will do, so I think the problem here is that what we did is we took the middle layer and we pushed it onto the first layer. So the first layer still has what we had before because it was painted. And so we have to clear that layer. But the problem is if we clear that layer, then we're going back to a clear screen underneath. But we don't want a clear screen. We want the background color to remain the background color. But we want to clear all other layers. So we need a function called clear layers. And we need to read in the background color there. Which means we need to save the background color in some way. But let's go through this one step at a time. So we're gonna do let's do Mirage here. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Why? What am I doing with my life? So we're gonna do clear context here. And what I want to do is create a new function, which is going to be called clear layers. Yeah, let's go ahead and DD there, and we should be okay. So now we're going to say function to clear all layers. And what I want to do is say void clear layers. And what we're going to do is read in, what are we reading in? I guess it's going to be all the layers, right? Alternative shape representation. Open link. Memory utils. Okay, let me see. What do we have here? Draw frame anim. Template type C. sdraw. Yeah, shape.draw. Yep, that's about right. Struct shape template T. Instance. Friend. I actually don't know what friend is. I mean, I guess I'm just lonely, but I'm not sure what that keyword means. Let me see. Private, public. Actually, this is quite close to what we had in the OpenGL implementation. I'm going to star this and I'll come back to this later. Done, just so I don't forget where it is. Okay, so we're going to do clear layers, and what we want to read in here is std vector of frame. And then we're going to say layers, and it has to be ampersand layers. And then we need to read in the background color, so it's going to be color, BG color. And I guess because my notation is crap, let's just keep it the crappy notation. Okay. DD here, and now what we're going to say is for int I equals 0, I less than layers. We don't need I in this case. Should be okay. The cool thing about this solution is that your shapes don't need to inherit from anything. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's good though. So I'll take a look into that and we'll see if we can implement that soon. It will be probably sometime tomorrow that we get that implemented. I'm having a hard enough time just doing basic things apparently. Good. And you can't implement draw for an arbitrary thing that don't normally support it. For example, strings and ints. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Okay, so we do clear layers here. And what's the idea? The idea is that we do I less than, let's just do it this way, screw it. Layers dot size. And then I just want to clear all the appropriate contexts. So now we're going to do plus I, pop down here, and we're just going to clear all the contexts. In a very similar way to what we have up here, and so I can probably just grab this immediately. Here. And what I want to do is say, the following. So we're going to say, one of these days, color, alpha, color is going to be equal to 0, 0, 0, 0. Then we pop down here and we say alpha color. Let's just say color. Dot R. Color. 1 second. Dot G and color dot B. And also color dot A. I think that's it. Okay, so let's try this. So now we're gonna say color. Friggin'. Let's just do this. Screw it. Here, there, and say color. Come on, dog. And yeah, I guess we're gonna have to do. Yeah, screw it. We're gonna say if I equals 1, I suppose. And we're gonna say color equals alpha color. And then we should be able to set this one equal to background color. Okay, and this should basically go through, fix everything up. Now what we're gonna do is put this into the .h function. So let's go into vi include frame functions.h, go down to clear context, and let's see if this actually works. So we're going to do yank paste, clear layers, and then in here we're basically going to say std vector, 1 second, vector of layer frame, and ampersand layers, And then we're going to do color, be it background color. Okay, right quit, make that. It's probably going to break. Yeah, I was going to be very surprised if it didn't. It was not declared in the scope. Yep, that's because I need to do here, G. Nope, there. And let's just do... I want to set the background and start the loop from 1. I could. Sure, let's do that. VI source, frame functions, .cpp, paste down here, and we can do it that way. That's also fine. RI1, and we're going to say background color there. And so now I want to do yank through yank, paste down here, DD there, paste here, changes to background color, and there, remove the random color unnecessary thing there, and change these all back to zeros. DT here, and do 0, 0, 0, 0. Make that. Context. That's because context was not described in the scope. I think that was actually the error it said. Forgive me for that one. So now we just do layers of... for I, layers.size, so we're going to do layers of I dot frame context. There we go. And then we pop it down here. And here. Make that. Context. Oh, I know. 109. Color set color. Yes. So we want to do... I guess it's going to be layers of 0 dot frame context. I'm just going to pop this down to the next line. And we do the same thing here. Right, quit. Make that. Okay, see what happens. Are you kidding me? I still have... One more time. Let's try this again. Still one more somewhere lying around here. Where? Oh, there it is. Color paint context. Dot frame context. And let's make that. Okay, so in principle, now what I can do is clear layers. So we draw layers, and then we clear the layers here. Clear layers of layers. Sure. Make that. Too few arguments. Oh, that's because I also need to read in the background color, which is going to be background color BGCLR. Make that. Okay, and that made, so let's try doing, let's see, source, frame functions, what am I looking for here? I'm looking for the last visualization test. And then we're going to do the mirage real quick. So we should have that. And then it shouldn't be blank. That should be purple. Why is it not purple? Is it because... Why is it not purple? Okay, let's take a look. Did I run visualization test? Okay, that seems to be a thing. Let's go ahead and run that there, like that. And let's do visualization test mirage. Nothing is being drawn in that second one. Why? We should have something being drawn. Right, because we're setting the source back to yellow. We're setting the line width a little bit smaller, that's fine. We're drawing the rest of the circle. And we stroke it on the first layer, and then we draw the layers. Why is that not working? Now, obviously, if we don't run this clear layers command, it should work, but not quite the way we want it to. Sorry, mirage here. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're expecting. It's just we're not expecting to have the green outline here. We want to get rid of that green outline. Roxana remembers the blank screen of success. Yeah, that was all I wanted to do. So right now, all I want to do is figure out how to get this clear layers command to work the way I want it to, and then go from there. So we're going to do, I guess we're going to take a look at the function. Frame function.cpp, pop down here. Okay, so let's see, what do we have here? We have color set source RGBA. Do we actually need the Cairo save and stuff? Let me see. What do they have over here? They say, of course, you won't forget to set the default Cairo operator over again when you're finished. And the most convenient habit for doing this is just to Cairo save, Cairo restore. Maybe that's what the Cairo save and restore is for. So let's try that. So let's do Cairo save context. So we're gonna do Cairo save, and we want to do layer 0 frame context. And then we're gonna try restore again afterwards. And I guess we're just going to do the same thing here. So let's go ahead and paste there. Oh, that was not what I meant to do. Yank here, paste there. Yank here, paste here. Add some spaces. Great. And I don't know what I did there. And change these to I. RI. Down there, RI. Right, quit. Make that. But that still doesn't make any sense that why it's not purple. You know what I mean? Visualization test. Mirage. Oh, I forgot to clear. I must have not run it. Okay, well now it's purple. We don't have anything drawn on it, but it is purple. Gwen, color paint or color save? Cairo save. So I think here's the idea. So Cairo save will save all of the like, I guess, options associated with it. So what we did is we changed the option to like blend, and then we do the blending, and then we turn it back to draw over. But for some reason it's not doing the drawing. You didn't copy Cairo save. Oh, I see. My bad. Thanks for letting me know. Cairo paint. Wait, what? You copied the paint? Oh, you're right. I copied the paint twice. My bad. That's why you shouldn't copy code. Mirage. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to do make there. And then we're going to do Mirage here. Did I run it? I don't think I ran it. Let's try this. Mirage here. Okay, good. So now it's working. That took all day. I apologize for that. So we have draw layers, and then after drawing the layers, we have to clear the layers. We can put clear layers into draw layers. So every time you draw, you then immediately clear the context. But I feel like this is kind of one of those hacky solutions that, I don't know, I'm not yet a big fan of. Why not make... I could. I just... I don't know. In fact, it could be in my make file. I think it is kind of commented out in the make file. I just didn't do that. I don't know. Let me think then. Draw layers. Okay, I gotta think about the best way to go from here. So here's what we have currently. We have the ability to draw layers, which is great. So we have 3 different layers that we all concatenate into one image. That's great. Or as many layers as we want that we can concatenate into one image. That's great. We have the ability to draw frame by frame by clearing the context in between. So we draw and then we clear, then we draw and then we clear, and that's fine. This gets rid of the memory problem that we had before, where we just keep an arbitrary number of images in memory. So that's great. Granted, it will probably take some time to do the drawing and stuff like that. And as I think it was Roxtadra who mentioned before, it would be nice if we were able to not clear everything, just clear the things that we want to clear, so we don't have to redraw every time. So that's something I also need to look into. But that's good things to think about. So for today, I think I'm going to go ahead and close the stream here. And we'll kind of think about how to do this probably during the day today and try to figure this out. Of course, if you guys have any ideas, like Gustorn did, just feel free to send me a message or something like that. Feel free to go to Discord to do that. So here's Discord. And I'll be there pretty much all day. I keep the chat up. I can't guarantee I'll be able to respond immediately, but I do keep the chat up and usually try to at least pay attention to what's happening there. Sometimes I'll be lurking, but you know, I'm usually there. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming in. Have a great day, night, afternoon, morning, evening, whatever time it happens to be your time. And I will see you around next time for the next episode of Simuleos, when hopefully we find a better way to do all of this and start iteratively, or not iteratively, but start progressively putting it into the previous visualization library. So we've got a lot of things to do still. It's going to take some time. Sorry about that. On the other hand, I think it's kind of fun going back to this whole drawing with code thing. It's been a while since we did something that wasn't so focused on an algorithm. It was just kind of something separate. Do I know you? Maybe? I don't know. I think so. You've been here before. I know you've been here before. But anyway, guys, thanks again for coming in, and I will see you next time. Just saying hi. Hey, Rexandro. Thanks for coming in. Okay, that is it. Have a great day, guys. See you next time. Bye, guys.